Okay, today we come across the fifth day of our BIM workshop. Actually, today we are going to the sessions landscaping and visualization. Actually, the today's objectives are how to work with ceilings. Okay, then after that we go for how to add the material. Then how to take the material takeoff. Then the initial part of the landscaping part, how to add the site. Because the landscaping part will be continued tomorrow also. Okay, these are the objectives today. Then the first one is working with ceiling. Okay, actually how to apply the ceilings into our model, because we cannot place the ceiling component into our floor or roof. So that we have to create a ceiling plan. How to generate ceilings. That is our first session. After finishing that, we go to the material part. Okay. Just wait a minute while opening the Revit file. My screen is clear. Actually, now I am showing the Revit architecture screen. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear.
Yeah, okay. Okay, regarding the ceiling part, you can add ceiling to the building model to specify the placement, how to place the ceiling component, actually such as light or the plumbing fixtures and all. This you can view the ceiling and the ceiling component only through the ceiling plan. Actually, we cannot see the ceiling component through the floor plans. So that you have to activate the ceiling plan. Actually, in our project browser, already we have floor plans. Below that, we have ceiling plan also. For adding ceiling components and for creating the ceiling, first you activate the ceiling plan. Then only we can apply the ceiling component. The ceiling plans are activated only in the ceiling plan. Then for example, I have to, because in between whatever floors may be, you have to activate the corresponding floors. If you need to apply ceiling to the first floor, you activate the ceiling plan of the first floor. Okay, now I have to apply the ceiling plan into the ground floor so that I have activate the ground floor plan. If you activate the ground floor plan, automatically the plan will be visible here. Then for applying ceiling, you go to the architecture tab, there is an option called ceiling. You select that one. After selecting that, we can add ceiling automatically, or we can sketch the ceiling by yourself also. Automatic means that ceiling will be come across the interior room. Okay, automatic. There no need for creating the boundary. Then if I select automatic ceiling, then you have to locate. Then you can add the property, what type of ceiling you need, what will be the depth and all. You can add the property as we are at the properties in the floors and roofs like that. Okay. Then here different types of ceiling is available. If you need plain ceiling or grid ceiling, whatever maybe you can create it. I select one grid ceiling. Then in the edit structure, you can make the changes. Whatever may be the depth, then whatever the finish, whatever may be the depth and all, you can add the thickness of all details here. Then after that you can add the material. The material part will be after finishing the ceiling. Okay. Then okay. Next because we are now at the ground floor level, then you have to specify the height offset. That means in between the floor and the ceiling, you have to place the that HVAC plumbing fixtures and all. That time you have to specify the height where the floor ceiling will be lying with respect to our ground floor. Then you can add the height. Generally, I put as because maybe a minimum 40 centimeter gap is necessary. You can, maybe you feel that 40 is not, we don't want 40, the 30 is, they change the height to 70. Actually, the height is measured from the level which you are activated. Okay, that is why system asks the height offset. Okay. You need that height offset as 60 itself, there is no need for changing that. Then you click here. Automatic ceiling. If you hover over that, automatically that ceiling will be in whatever room if you are selecting, automatically that ceiling will be there. Then later on you can adjust the grid spacing and all. Maybe for example you need the full grid here. That time you select this and move that grid to the starting point. Likewise you can align the grid spacing. Okay. This way you can add the ceiling. Then if you go through the section view, for example, I create a one section line here. Then if you go through the section view, automatically we can see the ceiling, where we place the ceiling. Okay, well, it is not compulsory. You have to draw the section plane in the ceiling plan. You can generate that section line in the floor plan also. But for creating the ceiling plan is compulsory. You have that is possible. It is possible to create the ceilings only through the ceiling plan. Okay. Then maybe sometimes in the case of ceiling, maybe you have to design a ceiling, or because we don't want that in the entire portion. Or in the case of staircase portion, false ceiling will not be there in the case of staircase portion, or otherwise you have to create some design false ceiling. That time we go for sketch ceiling. That time there we have the freedom to sketch whatever design we have for the ceiling. That time you go for the ceiling. Then here there is an option sketch ceiling. Then system asks the boundary where you need to sketch a ceiling. For example, maybe you can create your own boundary line. For example, maybe like this. Maybe I need an offset, a particular offset, because the ceiling may be in the side only, like that. Then you select this one, select this rectangle again, and then you make some offset. For example, I put some 100 centimeter offset. Then if you use the space bar, that will be there. Or if you wish to change the shape or curve or something like that, that is also possible. Okay. That means ceiling, the false ceiling will be this side only. This portion will be a void portion. Then if you select, if you finish, automatically that ceiling will be there. Then another way, if you to add a different structure below that, that also you go for the sketch ceiling. Because in the architecture component ceiling, because I need to add some ceiling below the structure. That time you change the offset. You change the offset because now the ceiling start at the 260 height. Then if you change the height to 255, the ceiling start from that. Okay. Then rectangle. Then if you create something like this, then if you go to the section view, then automatically that will be there. If you don't want this, you go to the edit boundary, and because in the case of automatic ceiling, we get the entire ceiling. Whatever shapes you can create. After creating the ceiling only, you can place the ceiling component. You cannot place the ceiling component in the roof portion or the floor portion. For that, you have to create a ceiling component. In the case of place fittings and fixtures in the light and something like that. Okay, that time for placing the ceiling component, you activate the same plan, then go to the component, then place a component, then load family. Here you select the library, maybe I use metric. Then there is an option, lightings. Then you go to the lighting. Here we have the architecture, external lighting and internal lighting, or you can use MEP also, internal. Then all these ceilings are wall-mounted light and floor lights are, we can place it independently. It doesn't matter, you have to create the ceiling. The ceiling mounted accessories, for that you have to create the ceiling. Then maybe this is ceiling light. Maybe I need a flat round ceiling light. You can create the family also. If you wish to change some parameters, you open that RFA file and later on make the changes as we are created in the profile family. You select that one, then click OK. Automatically that will be loaded into our property palette. Then you have to assign the elevation. Okay, then for example, I put the elevation as 260. Then here you can specify the placement model, vertical to the place or in the whole place. In the case of paper and place on the work plane, like that. Okay, place on the face. Wherever you need to place the fixtures. Later on, because while rendering you have to change the parameters. That time you select this light. If you wish to change the parameters of this particular light only, then you go to make a copy and do the changes. Okay, here also the duplicating is important. Otherwise, the parent everything will be updated uniformly. Okay, edit type. Here you have to change the parameters. Share color and all these are come under while the visualization. How it looks like. Actually, the output will be only after the rendering. Okay, here you can change the visualization and all. Okay, that will be in the rendering part. You know, you can to add this intensity, the voltage and something like that, luminous. Or maybe here you can the option to apply there. All these are applicable while creating the rendering part. Okay, then if you want to see that ceiling in 3D view, that time you go to the camera view. For example, I think it's better to go to the ground floor plan. Okay. Then create a camera. go to this, create camera, then where you create the ceiling, just go it up. Automatically, we can see the ceilings. Whatever design you wish to create, automatically you have the freedom. In the case of sketch ceiling, automatic ceiling will be whatever depend upon the shape of our room. Automatic ceiling will be there. Okay, this is the way the ceiling work. Whatever shape may be. But in the case of taper roof, actually if we have the taper roof, maybe we are created one room. After that, there is one taper roof. That time, the automatic scaling or sketch ceiling is not possible. That time, you go to the, actually in the case of taper room, that time you go to the set the plane, component, then in place model. Then here there is an option ceiling. Okay, if you are selecting the generic model, okay, we can create a false ceiling with the help of material and all. But the problem is you cannot place the fittings. Maybe if you wish to place that ceiling component below the taper roof, that time you go for the ceiling only. Okay, that is the procedure in the case of taper roof and all. How to create the false ceiling? For that, you go to the create family, then in place family, then go for the extrusion command or whatever command may be, or sweep or something like that. That is up to us how to generate that. In the case of the rectangular rooms and the flat ceiling type, you go to directly you can go to the ceiling through the sketch ceiling or the automatic ceiling. But in the case of taper roof, you go to the in place only. Okay, that is how we are creating the ceilings. Okay, next, actually this is the first part. Okay, then the next one. Okay. This is the way. Actually, this is where you can architecture ceiling. After that, you go for the sketch ceiling or automatic ceiling. Whatever ceilings maybe you can create. Later on, you can apply the material also. After this session, I will go for the material application. Then only we can take the material takeoff. For getting the material takeoff, okay, that time the material application is compulsory. Okay, these are an example of ceiling. Whatever shapes maybe, you just, actually all these are maybe if a room is in this shape, automatic ceiling is. Otherwise, maybe if you add to this type of ceilings, you go for the sketch ceiling. Later on, you can place component. After that, if you get some output something like this, you have to add the material. Then after adding the material, while rendering it out, we get the lightings and all. Okay. Then how to assign. The next topic is how to assign the material into that whatever components may be, because we are not come across the material applications. While creating the walls and the software itself have assigned one material. Okay, then because the application of materials are independent, because if you are creating a model in place, the procedure of material application is little bit different. But in the generic models and all are little bit different. Okay, I will explain the both of the way, how to apply the material in place models and how to apply the material in the normal models like walls, floors and roofs, etc. Okay, or maybe in the doors and windows also. Okay, these are actually for assigning material, we have to take the material from the material library. Okay, I will show you how to create that, how to open it and how to add the materials. Okay. Okay. then activate the 3D view. Maybe sometimes if you add some material here, and in the modify panel, there is an option called paint. Okay, if you select this paint, automatically system will show the existing material available in the library. You can add the new material also. Whatever material you need to apply this structure, you select the material. Okay. Then click the surface where you wish to apply the material. Automatically the material will be applied there. Whatever structure may be, just you point out the structure. For example, I need to apply this material to our roof structure, automatically you select that. Actually, that one is a transparent material. That is why it comes like this. Already the material is applied. Whatever material, if you wish to apply, just select that one and click here. Automatically that material will be applied into that particular section. Okay, maybe I have to apply a new material that is not in the material browser. If I select this material browser, because maybe I need a pink color or something, whatever color, maybe otherwise some textures. Textures is not available there. Then how to add that material into this browser? Okay, for that, first you go to the Manage tab. There we have the option for material. These are the available material here. We can use this material. But out of this material, I need a new one. Because we need the material in this material browser. Then only we can take the material from here and apply it to there. Okay, then how to add the material into the material browser? That time, go to the Manage tab. Then there is an option Materials. Okay. If you click the Materials, immediately the material library will be opened. Okay, these are the materials we are already shown in the browser. All these material. You have to add whatever material you need into this project material browser. Automatically that will be applied in there. System itself have library also. You can use the open asset material browser. Then we get lots of material library. Whatever may be. Okay. But for that, you have to apply some procedure. Then only we have to apply the material in the proper manner. That means actually you have to follow some procedure. And then whatever material you have to create, maybe I select this, I need to apply a color. That time you take the corresponding template. Otherwise you go for the default and make the changes. I think better in the case of applying colors, you go for that parking stripe. Actually that is the then make a copy of that one. Okay, for making the copy, right click, then duplicate. Automatically, copy of the material is created. Then input a name. For example, wall color. Okay, this is the name. After selecting this wall color, exterior wall, maybe in the case of exterior or interior wall are different. That time also you make a duplicate, then exterior wall, interior wall, and okay. Then you have to add the details, identity. In the identity, you can add the cost and all. If you add the cost, automatically while taking the material takeoff, that cost will be there. Material cost. That time you don't need to add the cost independently. Wherever you apply that wall paint, while taking the material takeoff, that field will be there, because all these fields are available in the as in schedule. While taking the material, also these fields will be there. Okay. You whatever material you know, whatever the features you have to fix, you can add the keynote and something like that. Okay. Then in the graphics you have to select, compulsory you have to select use render appearance. And only that particular material is applied while render, the particular color. So that you have to select render appearance. Then in the appearance panel, okay, actually copy this, duplicate this asset. If you are not duplicating this, automatically the color of the parking stripe also go. That is why you make the copy. Then here also you can change the finish, matte finish or regular, whatever maybe you can change. Under information, I think name and all. In the case of materials like tiles and all, we can apply the U value, R values and something like that. Okay. The paint, there is no option for that. Then you change the color. Whatever color you need, you can change the color from here. Okay. Whatever color you wish to apply that into the exterior wall, you select the color, then okay. Immediately this will be changed and the parking stripe remains the same. For example, if you just go through the parking stripe, if you are not make a copy, if you miss this step, because before changing the color, you have to change the duplicate this asset. Then only you change the color. Otherwise, this parking stripe also become blue. Then if you apply that parking stripe into our model, that is also changed to blue. That is why. The first duplicate is for getting the material library, and the next duplicating is for applying the color. These two duplicating is necessary. Then apply. Okay. Then automatically that material is already come under the material library. Then if you go for that modify, okay, if you go for the modify paint, if you select that paint, automatically that material, that wall color will be there. Okay, you click here, then you simply apply that. That color will be in the structure. Okay, there is no need for remove the structure. Actually, if you are placing a paint material over that, the parent will be replaced with the new one. But in the case of applying material through the wall property, you have to delete. Okay, that I will explain after this. Okay, next, in the case of the in-place models, for example, I create one structure with the use of extrusion command. Architecture, component, place a model. Then whatever maybe. For example, I take generic model as okay. Okay. Then whatever maybe I put any name. Okay. Then I make with the help of extrusion command. I am making a simple step only. Okay. Just this one. Okay. Of 200. Okay. This is a structure with the help of this is a structure we have created with the help of in place. Then I need to add some material here. That time if you go for the same procedure, select this paint, whatever material if you click here, that material will not be applied here. We cannot apply the material into this structure, because this structure is made with the help of that in-place component. Okay, next, how to add the material, because normally while creating the sunshades and all, we are using the in-place. Maybe sometimes in the case of interior designing, the skirting and all, we are creating the sweep command. That time I have to change the color of maybe each faces and all. Otherwise, I have to change the color as a whole also. Okay, that time the procedure is you select the component, edit in place, then go to apply the material. That is the procedure. Select paint. Now we can apply the material. If you select this, that material is applicable. If you click here, automatically you can change the scale also. So I will tell you how to change the scale and all. Because this structure is you have to adjust the scale. Okay, in this way you can change the material after changing the material, the finish one. Okay. So this is the procedure for actually for applying the material independently. Okay, but in the case of there is an option for remove the material also. You select this and remove material. This material will not be removed because that is, yes, you go to this one, select this in place. After that, you can remove the paint. Whatever objects may be created in the in-place model, first you go to the edit mode. After that, you get whatever changes you can apply. But in the case of structures, walls, roofs and all, you can directly apply the material. But next is actually, it is not, actually this one is a difficult because while taking the, because I want to know the plastering, but whatever the plastering quantity and what should be the brickwork quantity and all. Okay, that time we can, because the paint material, we are apply the paint material only. But next I need to take the material quantity. That means the volume of the brick or the area of the brick, then area of the plastering and all. That time you have to apply the material structure, actually the material in that parameters itself. Okay, for that to select a wall, actually by the initial stage of the design, I think better you apply the material details and all. Okay, no need that if you finish that one, after that you have to apply. Okay, the initial stage itself, if you are doing a project, if you take a wall, actually you can add the structural details and you can add the material itself. Okay, by the initial stage of design also. Okay, select the wall, then in the property panel, edit type, actually edit structure. So now I am using a simple structure only. But in the case of modeling aspect, this is more than enough for us. Because maybe somebody is asking this for a model. That time you can go change the material here. At that times the material takeoff will not be come properly. Because in the case of a wall, the material takeoff is, we want to know the area of the wall, volume of the wall, and what should be the plastering. Then what should be the painting quantity? But the painting quantity is in area, square feet. Sorry, square meter or centimeter, whatever may be. That time you have to split the surface because you have to apply the detailed structure. Okay, so that for example in this structure I want to know the plastering quantity and the paint. That time the structure, that means that is the brickwork. Maybe the structure thickness is 20. Okay, then I have to, because the wall thickness, after finishing that, the wall thickness is 23. That 23 includes the plastering also. Okay, that time I insert two structures also. Then I move down this structure, move, and I place this. This is the core. That is the core boundary. Then the system make that core measurement as from this point. Then this one is my finished face. maybe this is of 1.5. Then this is my finished phase, second phase. And this is also 1.5, or you wish to change that as 2 and 1, or that is also okay. If we apply okay, then our model will not be changed. Well, while seeing the coarse fine view, we will get the detailed view only. Then after that, you have to add the proper materials. Because here I need the brickwork. Each and every model, for example, if you are creating a stair, otherwise if you are generating in place model, there is an option for creating material. While placing the doors and windows, actually doors and windows, the material is in the family only. Okay, there you can add the material, the same with the help of this same procedure. Okay, then in the structure, I select this. I need a brickwork. That time you come here. I think brickwork already will be here. Then I take that brickwork. Okay. Make a copy, duplicate, then put the name as brickwork. Okay. Put a name. Then select this one. The same procedure you have to bring the identity. You can apply, maybe for example, I apply the cost as maybe 1,000 or something. Model URL value. Okay. Then you can add this. While taking the material takeoff, that will be automatically come under there. Then in the graphics, select this render appearance. Then in the pattern, appearance. Then make a duplicate. Then if you need, actually this will not be applied, we can see that in our view because the work is in between the plastering. That is why, but while taking the material takeoff, we get properly. Sometimes in the case of exterior walls, because I don't want that in the exterior walls, you can select your own image also. If you select, maybe if you have a JPEG image or PNG image, you can select that image also. Okay, for that, first you assign an temporary image. After that, you go for the options, whatever image you need, you select that one. Okay, now I am not changing anything because that is the interior wall. But you have to add the parameters. And in the physical characters, and the physical and mechanical, what should be the density, all that you can input by yourself, and the thermal parameters. You can reflectivity, R value, and something you can change. Whatever options you change, that by itself, actually the behavior is isotropic, orthotropic, or whatever may be. With respect to this, the energy calculations will be there. Whatever you wish to change, you can apply this. After that, I have to apply the plaster. Okay. And the same procedure, select this. Maybe I don't have the material. What maybe here there is I don't have the material. Then you make a duplicate, place it, name it as plastering. Then this is you set a rack for that, for adding the material. That is the first duplication. Okay. Or creating a folder to apply the material. Then if you select this one, then you can select the material from the asset browser also. If you select this one, then in the asset browser, lots of material will be there. Okay, concrete, and maybe in the plastering, ceramic, tiles, and all. Okay, whatever maybe, you can select whatever material you need. Okay, whatever material in the generic, there is the flooring materials, maybe in the carpet. Then if you add this material into this, you select this option. Okay, replace the current asset into the editor asset. If you select that one, automatically the plastic will be replaced by the material that we have already applied. Okay. Whatever material, you can take the material from the asset browser also. Then you can change the values and apply that material into the corresponding option also. Okay. That in the case of plastering, actually plastering is not this one. I think that there is maybe masonry unit or something, concrete, sand, cement, grade, whatever maybe. You just make a duplicate, then plastering. Oh.
Materials
New materials. And already duplicate. Yeah, okay. 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 Actually, there is a suggestions from, can you explain one more time how to create the new material? Okay. So I will repeat one more time. I have to create a new material because some plastering material. That time, better you go for the default material. Right click, duplicate it. Okay. Then input the name. I need a new material for the plastering. Input the name. Okay. Then maybe you wish to take that material from the material library. Then you go to the asset browser. Okay, if you click the asset browser, lots of material library will be there. Okay, siding, site work, and whatever maybe. But maybe sometimes you have to apply liquid materials. In the case of pool and all, you select that one. Then for adding that material into our structure, you just click here. Replace the asset into the already created asset. Automatically that will be applied here. It will take a little bit time because system has to update that. Later on, you can adjust parameters, or if you wish to change the cost value, actually that is if you are adding the cost value and URL, automatically your takeoff will be that one. That time you don't need to type it that one. If you add the material here, that I will show you while taking the material. Okay, this you can add this. This is up to us. It is not compulsory. You have to finish all these one. But whatever you need in the scheduling part. But while taking the material scheduling, what are the field you wish to fill it up? So just I think better you fill this here. Automatically that will be there. Otherwise, these portions are empty while taking the scheduling. Okay, then graphics. Maybe that actually, maybe that is not the plastering material. We wish to apply that. That time also, because that plastering materials is into my personal folder. Okay, that time you have to add a dummy material. After adding this dummy material only, we cannot take that directly from our personal folders and all. That time you add a dummy material. Then in the appearance, you have the option to change that material wherever. Right? These are the default material assigned while installing that software. Maybe in the company basis, they have their own material, their own PNG files and all, that you can select also. Okay, but in the case of quantity calculation, it doesn't affect. But in the case of visualization only, we have to take that one. Because whatever material is into our brickwork and whatever materials is into our plastering, because after that we are applying the paint. That means in the case of visualization, the paint will be the major part. Then inside that whatever we applied, we cannot show it in our visualization. But in the case of material takeoff, that will be applied. But that is not depend upon the image of the materials. Okay, whatever you can select by your own. Then whatever changes may be, you can add this. Okay, automatically that will be here. Maybe next, in the next plastering also, if I wish to add the same material, no need for creating that copy and all. Use here. Then the real will be there. Then okay, automatically there. Okay, maybe sometimes you, maybe in the case of exterior visualization, maybe you want to change the pier. That time you come here and without duplicating, you make the changes, automatically that will be updated. Then okay. Apply. Okay. Okay. But in the case of paint, you have to apply independently. Paint. In the case of painting, okay, you can apply the paint, and in the case of modeling aspects, not well. For example, I need new structure. That means maybe you are concentrate not in the material application, you are concentrate only in the modeling application, because you are generating a building model for visualization only. That time, no need for adding the detailing. That time you go for the wall command, edit type, make it duplicate, maybe exterior wall, okay, then edit type. I think that time I need a single structure. I think this is required. Okay, that doesn't matter whatever material may be. Okay, this is I need a 23 centimeter wall. Then here I select this one. This is only for visualization, not in the case of that material takeoff. That time you go for, I think, default. Maybe default one, make a duplicate. Then name as wall paint. Then maybe if you wish to go to the material library, then maybe there is maybe wall painting. The wall painting is there. Glossy and matte finishing is there. Okay. Then maybe these are some textures will already be applied. You just click here. Automatically that parameters will be there. After that, later on you can change the color and all, because that all the settings will be there, that glossiness and all already, everything will be assigned here. Then make a copy. Maybe if you wish to change that to another color. Okay. Then apply. Okay. Then the color will be there. Okay. Then okay. Then if you generate a wall, that wall, then if you go for that, maybe modify say walls with rectangle. I think that is not in that material. Okay, just a minute. Same material, actually this maybe different name. Okay, exterior wall. I use actually I don't activate that use render appearance. That's why. You select that one, edit structure. Then you select this one. Use render appearance. Okay. Then apply. Okay. Okay. Apply. Okay. Automatically the color will be there. Because you have to apply that render appearance there. But in the case of modeling and application only, you can follow this way. But in the case, if you need to take the material takeoff, you don't get the material takeoff properly. For getting the material takeoff, because you need to get the material takeoff of brickwork, the wall, because that is a combination of wall, paint, brickwork, plastering and paint. That time you have to apply the entire details. For modeling, also maybe sometimes if you wish to change in the color of this wall only with different color. That time you go for the paint command. Okay, then select the texture, then apply to that particular wall only. Okay. This is the procedure we have to create. Okay, in the case of A, for example, in the case of model that we are created with the help of model in place, if you select that one, edit in place, if you select that one, edit in place, if you select the object again, here we have the option for material application. Okay, then you follow the same step. Whatever material you have to do, make the changes. In the case of textures, you can have the option to change the size also. For example, if you select this one, appearance, if you select this one, you can change the tiling size also. Because the software itself have some limit, because we don't have that much of freedom as we create in the 3ds Max. That this I have some limitations, because 3ds Max is purely meant for rendering, but architecture have its own limitations also. And you can change the size of the material. Okay. While creating the material, if you are wish to add that into the material browser or something, wherever after applying the material also, you can come to this point and make the changes. Textures, or if you wish to change the U value and V value, that is also possible. Okay. Then apply. Okay. Then finish it. Automatically the material will be there, because it is not in the proper way seen, because the scaling is too dense. Then you go and change the size of that one. That time automatically we can see the material properly. Okay, just I think better you go for realistic view. Okay, then we get the real view. Then if you wish to change the polishness or something, bumping, maybe something like that, you go to the material and whatever changes you can do that. Okay, this is the procedure. You can add by independently with the help of paint, or you can add with the flooring also. Okay, then sometimes you may add a material to this portion of the wall only. I don't want to apply some particular material into this entire wall. Okay, that time if you are applying paint, that will be applied to the entire wall. If you wish to add the material in that particular structure, a particular portion of that face, that time there is an option in the modified tab, there is an option face. Split face. I need to apply some material in this only. Maybe this is team or something like that. This is that particular person's villa or TC number or something like that. Or you have to apply that type of image, or sometimes you have to apply the cladding work to a particular portions. You can do by this with the help of that extrusion. You can set a plane and you make it some extrusion and make the apply the material. But in the case of flooring, you apply this method. That is better, because flooring, we get the flooring, we need to get the material take off in the case of area. That time you split the face and apply the material. That is with the help of paint. Okay. That time you select this face, then go to the face. So you select the object. Okay. Then you have to draw the surface. Okay. The condition is without overlapping. You don't need to draw above this one. Because, for example, I need to create a surface something like this. Somewhere here. That means this surface is divided into two surfaces. with the help of split face. This surface is divided into two surfaces. Then you can add only through the paint only. Because we could not able to select this and wall property, we cannot apply the material. But I need some cladding to this only. With the help of split face, you just draw the shape, then go to the paint, select the material. If there is no material, but maybe you wish to select, then go to the material library, then add it, select this. This is the procedure how we change the material into this surface. Otherwise, you go for the extrusion, but in the case of extrusion, there is some volume will be there. But if you apply this way, the volume is not generated. Just to split the surface and apply the materials. But there is one more case. If we are applying this, because I split the face, automatically maybe the half portion I have to fix different color or different structure. That if I split this face, the problem is the face is split in this way because these two wall joints wall will be joined. Okay, actually the wall joint is a little bit different. That is why if I make a line here, okay, but the problem is if I apply some material, that material will apply this only. Actually, I have to extend this to this level. Okay, whatever color or texture may be. If you finish that one, whatever this structure will be there, then if you go to the paint, then if you take the same material, that will be applied here only. You cannot apply this. That time, this is because actually this command is normally we have to show how these walls are joints. Okay, that time, just I delete that one. Then go to the plan view. For example, I have to apply this into this entire structure. Okay, that I need to select this entire face. That time you go to the plan view. Then there is an option for wall joints. Okay, actually the wall joint is meant for if two walls are meshed, we have to show how that wall will be joined. Okay, that select that one. Then if you locate this one, system will show the nature of the wall joint because this wall is joined by this and this way. Then you change that to milter. Okay, for in the case of detail drawing, if you have to show the detail, that time also you can change here. Then if you go to the 3D view, then if you try that split face, select the face, automatically the face will be split. Okay. Draw the shape. And finish this. Then you can apply the material. Whatever material maybe that will be applied there. Okay, this is the procedure how we keep the material. The material maybe in some portion you change the wall joint. Okay, because that is depend upon the wave that we are generating. This is how we have applied the material. You can apply maybe sometimes if you are changing the color of the wall, maybe I don't want this blue color. Actually, I need the entire wall with another color because we are maybe apply these textures and all. Maybe if you wish to change the color, if you select that one, then in the property palette edit type, in the structure edit, you go for this one. Then I will just entirely I wish to change the color. Then the appearance, you select this one and whatever color maybe select that one. Okay. Apply. Okay. Immediately that color will be changed. Okay. That time also the texture that we applied with the help of paint command will be retained there. For removing that, you go for that remove paint only. There is no need for creating, apply the yellow color above that. You just simply remove this one. Okay. So if you wish to delete that line also, that is also possible. This is the procedure how to create the materials. That is up to us how to generate the material with the help of paint or with the help of material property. Okay, you can apply the material. In the case of roof, actually, if you are creating some taper roof, that means the taper roof have only one structure. You can that structure maybe I think better I have create one first floor also. I think in the project browser, first floor. Okay. Then architecture wall. Okay, I think this okay. This will matter whatever model will be. Edit type. Duplicate. Okay. Exterior 23 seconds. Once I am not bothered about that plastering quantities and all. Just I create one rectangle. Maybe unconnected. And that is maybe head height. I put it as total unconnected. Then maybe I create or something like this. Okay. Then if I go to the 3D view, we get here I have to create a roof. That time browser. If we go to the elevation view, one level also for that. Okay. Level. Just to go for by drawing. Okay. Modify. I select this as roof. Activate that roof. Activate that roof plan. Then in the underlay, the property palette. Okay. Then underlay. Underlay is none. Just to go for that ground floor. Apply. Or first floor also. I think better first floor. First floor. Apply. Then you can create the roof. Just I go for the roof by footprint. Maybe one-sided roof. Okay. Then edit type, duplicate. Then roof. Okay. Edit structure. Okay. While applying the roof, actually in the case of roofing, we have to apply the tile on the top. Then in the case of painting, doesn't matter, you apply that concrete and with the help of paint, you can apply. Maybe sometimes tile with a specific thickness. That time you have to add two structures. Maybe the rest of the portion will be in white color. In the top portion will be maybe the tiling structures and all. That time you insert one more. Okay. Then this one is 10, but you have to put some thickness. Then edit type. I think wall color, right click, make it duplicate. Then white color. Select that white. Then identity, no need for change that. Then in the graphics, use render appearance will be there. In the appearance palette, make it duplicate. Then change the color with white. Okay. Then apply. Okay. Then the structure. Maybe I need something. I may make a duplicate, and this is roof. Then with the help of roofing already here, or you can go for the material library. There is lots of roof will be there. I think in this library you get lot of roofing materials. Okay, whatever maybe you can change it. Then add this here. Actually, random material. So select that R. Then apply that one. Select this R. Actually, this is the place we are wish to add the roof. That time you select this. Then go to the material asset browser. Then replace it. Okay. Okay. Then simply make a copy. Then whatever values maybe you wish to change, everything will be, you can add the values and all. Apply. Okay. That will be there. Then okay. Actually, you have to enter some thickness. I put it as maybe 1 centimeter or 0.05 or something like that. Okay. But negligible value, because I need, if you need that, maybe the tile is of maybe 0.5 centimeter or so 5 centimeter or something, you can input the value also. Then okay. No, that is the actually thickness is not that much of a thing that I put it as one. The orientation is now the roof structure is below. Actually, that will be above that one. So that you change the orientation. Because this will be, the roof tiling will be above that one. Let's move it up. Okay, maybe you can move it up also. Okay. Otherwise, the tile structures will be, the 1 centimeter tile will be the below the roof. The top of that, the white color will be there. Then okay. Apply. Okay. Then the roof will be there. If you select the one side of the sloped roof, so that I put that as maybe 45 centimeter. Then I make a rectangle. Then modify. I don't want this slope. Just deselect that one. And deselect that one also. And deselect this one also. Okay. Then if you finish that. Okay. Then if you go to the 3D view, we will get that one. Clear. This is the white color. Otherwise, you have to apply the entire white color for the roof, and with the help of paint, you have to apply the that roof tiling. But in the case of multiple roof in the Victoria type modeling and all, it will be difficult. That time you add some structures also. Okay. This is the procedure how to create the material. Okay. After creating this material only, we can take the material takeoff. Before taking the material takeoff, you have to apply all the materials into our structure. Okay, after that, just I think the material takeoff is nothing much more special about in it, because the procedure is almost same as how to create the schedule, door and window schedule. But for creating the material schedule, you go for in the view tab. First, I have to create the wall material schedule. Then you go for the modify view tab. Then schedules. There is an option of material takeoff. Okay, you have to come here, material takeoff. Then here you have the categories. I wish to take the wall material takeoff. To select the material takeoff first. Then whatever name may be. Actually, this is maybe if that is an existing, the face will be the existing or new construction. You can change the new construction also. Okay, then okay. Then whatever field you need, if you are selecting this field, automatically the material volume and area will not be taken out. Actually, that is independent of volume. If you need the material volume, there is option. For example, if I select the material cost, then maybe the material mark. These are the fields. But if you are inputting that URL into our material, automatically that will be there. If you are adding that cost, like that, then maybe if you need the thermal value or whatever, maybe what is the type and all. What are the fields you need? Maybe I need the material volume because I want to know the material volume. That time you select not this volume. Actually, this here there is an option for material volume. Okay, that is important. Not the volume, material volume only. Then we will get the details and material area. Okay, then what should be the family type, which family and family type, whatever details maybe you can add. Then with respect to the volume, if you need to calculate, if you add some formula, in the case of number of bricks and all, you can apply the formula also as we created in the scheduling. Okay, then you can arrange that one. Maybe I need the type first. Okay. Then the family next, or maybe you can change. Then the cost at the end, below we need the cost. Rural, whatever maybe you can add. Then okay, then you can sort and filter it here itself also. So maybe in the case of okay, filtering is sorting. First I have to sort by type. Then if you need header and footer, then if you need grand totals, and then you maybe sometimes in the cost I need right alignment, because in the case of cost value, if you are aligned to the right, that may be better. You can change the right alignment also. Okay, whatever changes maybe how it look like. Schedule as default, maybe 3.5 different fonts, title fonts and all are. These all are applicable as the same way we are creating in the schedules also. Okay, then okay, immediately the material takeoff will be there. Okay, this is a brief. If already I have add that whatever wall maybe this is a material cost. Actually here this basic wall I have already added that material cost 100 in the material. That's why it will be the URL and material mark will be empty. That is why that will be in the empty. Okay, then you can export that. Maybe later on, if you need some calculations, normally people will make the calculations in Excel. You can export it that. As such, we are exporting to that the text format, the file, then export here, report taking, and schedule. Then we will get a text file. Later on, you can open that in Excel, and whatever changes may be, whatever calculations and new calculations are, you can do. But that means it doesn't mean that whatever changes maybe you are created in the schedule, this text file will not be appeared. If you are exporting that, the text file will act as an independent file. There is no connection in between that. But if you change the material application in our model, that will reflect in our schedule also. If you make any changes, if you add a new wall and all, automatically that will reflect here. Okay. Maybe you can change the scheduling consolidated one and all. You just go through it. Edit one itemized instant or something, whatever maybe. If not itemized, then okay. Everything will be like that. Like this, whatever changes maybe sometimes I don't want to itemize. I need to filter it out because I cost. Material cost is equal. I want to see the material cost is equal. That material only I want to see. That time if you go okay, that will be in your screen. This way you can sort it out also. Okay, then after placing that, we have to, this is the material, whatever heading may be there, automatically while creating the material, we are inputting some heading there while duplicating that. That will be come here. The type family and all automatically, this is the default. Okay, this is while copying that what we are inputting, then this will system will take in accordance with our design. System will take the area or volume. Okay, this is how we will take the material takeoff. Okay. Okay. This is just go through the points. Actually, here this is the option. Schedule material takeoff. And whatever options you need, just go through it. Whatever field you need, you can add that all the fields. Then apply the take the material outside. Okay. Then if you need to whatever material maybe you can add that one. At a time you cannot get the wall, roof and all. After finishing the wall scheduling, you go for the roof. Then after finishing everything, you can align in a proper manner into the sheet. Okay. Actually, the last topic in today's session. So that is landscaping. Okay, how to apply the surface into our, how to create the topo surface, because this will be continued in the next day also, because we cannot finish the landscaping today itself. We have to continue this section tomorrow also. But some basics I have to finish first. Then after that, we go for the next session. Okay. Topo surface. How to generate the topo surface. Then how to add the property line. Property line means the area of our site. We have to represent our property and how to add. Then we can add material also to that particular site. Maybe in the site, maybe by default, maybe sand. You can split the surface. Maybe some portion you need to add the grass or something. That time you can split the surface and add a different material to that surface. Then after fitting, maybe you wish you don't want to split that, you can merge it all. That is also possible. These are the topics regarding to the landscaping we are finishing today. Okay. Actually, this is a sample. Actually, I split the surface different way. Then I can add the material. Okay. This is we are going to learn. Okay. I think for that better we have to finish that. Actually, here we are creating the superstructure only. We are not bothered about the substructures. The modeling aspects, okay, we need the superstructure only. We don't want the. But in the case of BIM, the structure is also important because we have to take the calculation of the PCC and first footing and whatever may be. That time you have to create the substructures. But right now I am creating the superstructure only. Then I will show you how to. Already we are mentioned in the stack wall, but one more time I will show you how to generate the substructure. Okay, here we have created the basement only. Okay, basement, and therefore taking the floor and tiles, you have to create that floor. I think better. I will show you how to create that one. For example, select this one and create similar because I want to create the similar wall. Then in the properties, maybe the level is ground floor. Then up to the first floor. Okay. Then Then I think activate the ground floor. Okay. And then I create one room, rectangular room only. Okay. First floor, just create a rectangular room. After that, normally, if you are just point out the superstructure only, then you go for another wall. That is, I think I created as foundation. Let me just check the name of that one. Actually, basic wall generic masonry. Okay. Ground floor. Then architecture, wall. Then the property, basic wall generic masonry. Okay, this is a 45 centimeter thickness wall. Okay, then actually this is the basement. This comes from the ground floor. Actually, the base is ground floor, and the top constraint is the base is the ground level, and the top constraint is my ground floor. Then I think with the help of P-line, I think better you select the P-line, and the ground level is the base, and the ground floor is, if you pick that one, I think actually the selection is wall center automatically. I think that wall is in hidden view. That is why I haven't seen that. If you reveal that one, it is visible now. Wall masonry with help of line command. Actually, this will be closed within just a minute. Just wait for a minute, because some error will be there. Automatically, the software is closed. Just wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Just a minute. The system is okay. Just a minute. Huh? Just wait for a minute. The software is opening. Yeah, can you see my screen?
No,
Hello?
no.
No, okay.
Yeah, now you can see.
Yeah, okay. So this file also have some error. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just I will create one room. We have less time. Okay. Then I select this. I activate the ground floor and how to I'm going to tell you how to generate the substructures. Okay. Ground floor. Select this one. I think create similar. Then in the property palette, because ground floor to first floor. Okay, just we go for a room rectangle. Ground floor to first floor. We generate the room. Okay, then modify. After that, we have to create the basement. That time, architecture. Then go to the types. I think generic masonry wall. Edit this, and make it duplicate. Maybe I think better because you have to stack. In the case of substructures, I think better you stack the PCC, first footing, and basement with the help of a single step. Okay, you create that this one as base, BASE. Then okay, edit type. You add whatever the details you need, whatever the materials and all. Right now, I am not going to the material application. I put this as masonry. After that, I make it duplicate. Then maybe my first footing, FIRST, first. Then okay. Then actually, this is a procedure how we create the stacked wall. Okay, then the first footing of width. Here we are assigning the width only. Then okay. Then make it duplicate. Then this is my PCC. Then okay. Then edit type. Change the depth of the PCC because maybe 80 centimeter. Sorry, width of the PCC is 80 centimeter. Okay. That means we have to create the structures PCC, first footing and basement. These are the models that we have to stack it out. Then you go to the create wall architecture. Then in the property, you select that stacked wall. Then edit type, make it duplicate. Then substructures or whatever may be the name. Okay. In the edit type, we need three structures so that we insert the three one. In the bottommost portion, I need the PCC. Already PCC will be there. Select this. Then the height of the PCC will be maybe 20 centimeter. You select that 20 centimeter. Then above that, we need the first footing. That time first footing. Maybe put that as a variable. Then above that, we need the basement. The height is 5. Okay. Then okay. Then if you go to the 3D view, the wall will be this one. After that, I need to generate the three structures with a single step. That time you have to go to the south side. You have to add the level for the bottom. That time level. Actually, the bottom is with of 80 centimeter depth because 60 plus 20. Okay, that time better you place the distances. Then pick here. modify, then put the name as then activate the ground floor. Then you have to add that details. That time architecture wall. Then go to the property browser, substructure. Then the method. Maybe you can use line or you can use draw a line rectangle or whatever maybe. Okay. So I select peak line. Then the alignment is wall center. Then the base constraint is we need that from the bottom to the ground floor. Automatically system will show the total height. 20 plus 60 plus 45. Then if you pick the center wall, automatically that will be generated. Okay. Then if you go to the 3D view, the stacked wall will be there. Okay. This is a in case of maybe sometimes if you are actually in this case I create the basement only. I am not bother about the first footing and basement. That time if you that model if you need to place the first footing and basement, you just go through the create a stacked file with the basement and the first footing. Then for adding the floor, because here the floor and applications of the tile are different, because while taking the, because we need to take the floor quantity also. That time in the project browser, ground floor, then the floor, because I think, okay. Then for that you just the architecture floor. I am in the ceiling and that is why that is not visible here. Okay. The view depth, I change the view depth to -60 so that I can see the lines also. Okay. Then for adding the floor, first you have to add the floor here itself. Then the tile is up to our floor level, because flooring and tile you have to create with the help of 2 steps. That time you go to the floor, architecture, then I think but actually the property balance to duplicate that one, or if you need that as select that, actually that is tile roof, okay, doesn't matter. Then rectangle, then you create the flow here, then finish it. Okay, then no. Then if you create a section line, just a minute. If you generate one section line here, then if you go to that view, that you actually create properly, because I think if I pick that not properly, the height offset is that is we don't need any height offset. Just pick this edge only, and automatically that flow will be there. I'm not picking that in the properly. That is why you pick while creating the floor, you click this portion. Then tiling, it is not necessary to create a level. You activate the ground floor, then because the floor is generated downwards. Okay, that time you set the level as the height offset, maybe your tile is of 20 centimeter, then make the height offset as, okay, this is the procedure. Then for applying the tile quantity, I think make the material as paint. Because the flooring and the tile, we are calculated with the help of area only. That time I applying the material with paint only. Okay, this is how we can generate that one. Okay, I think we have only just 5 minutes to wind up. Actually, better we just start our next session with the landscaping. Okay, I think that is better. Otherwise, maybe you don't get the time to finish that one. Okay. Sir, I think better we stop it now, or I have to continue the landscaping also, because
So I think we also have a session at 10:50 or something. So we'll stop the session, and evening 4 o'clock we'll have a 4 o'clock we'll have a doubt clearance session, and we'll continue again tomorrow. And a lot of people were asking about day workshop, BIM workshop day 3 PDF. I think Teresa, it is the continuation of day 2, right? Do we need? Is there any specific PDF for day 3?
let me check. Actually, in each and every day, we are already generated the PDF. I think maybe they are not get the day 3 PDF. We will share that also.
If it is missed, we'll share the day 3 PDF.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's session is at 11 only. Tomorrow's session will be again remains the same time, 11.